Hello everybody, this is Oliver from Neo and today we are going to talk about two different teas, a low caffeinated tea and a high caffeinated tea. So what I brought with me today is on the low caffeinated side is the Kukicha. So what you can see is that the Kukicha is a stem tea, so a mix of leaves and stems. So you can see the yellow parts in here are the stems and the greener darker parts are the leaves. So it's a mix of these two. What makes this tea special is that it's actually a very alkalizing tea, so it's good for detoxifying your body. It is low in caffeine due to the mix of stems and leaves, and the high amount of amino acids really lower down even further the caffeine in this tea. So that's why this tea is just amazing to drink it for the evening or in the evening before you want to go to bed or after dinner to also digest. On the other hand, we got the Emperor's tea. The Emperor's tea called Gyokuro. So what you can see, these tea leaves are much darker, much more shaded. So I just try to show you, yes, now. So you really see this is just dark, only dark tea, no stems in it. Long shaded. So this tea is slightly shaded, it's around 7 to 10 days, but you also can find Kukicha, which is only a product coming from a leaf tea which has been non-shaded, but this one slightly shaded. Here we talk about 20 days. What does this mean when a tea is shaded 20 days? So the plant produces in these 20 days especially two main things. So the shading itself creates some kind of stress to the plant because a plant tries to absorb as much light as possible. So they put a nylon cover, a dark nylon cover over the plant, and then the plant tries still to absorb as much light as possible. Therefore it produces a lot of theanine, caffeine also level goes up, and in general amino acids going more into the plant, and the plant starts to suck up a lot of minerals from the ground. So this means that this tea also have this very special savory marine taste, which you know from a Japanese green tea known as the Gyokuro. So the Emperor's tea this is like an older story where the tea is coming from. So actually when the emperor started to drink tea was mostly in September, October, or even November, so in autumn. But the harvest is actually in April, May. And the reason was that they only wanted to have the highest quality tea, and the highest quality teas were the ones in ancient time which were finally still fresh and still high in quality when the emperor started to drink them. So that's how they kind of made a quality test for the tea and could sort out a little bit the lower quality teas, and then bringing in really the highest and best tea in quality in ancient times. Nowadays it's not the case anymore because the cold chain has developed a lot of farmers store their tea directly in cold temperatures, close to freezing temperatures, so at 2 or 3 degrees Celsius. And this finally makes a lot of tea being able to be consumed over the whole year at the same quality, even for 2, 3, 4, or even 5 years. So tea can be stored for a long time nowadays, and there's no real due date anymore for tea. But enough from this story. Now we're gonna go directly into the taste. So what I will do is to brew both teas at around 60 degrees Celsius, so 140 degrees Fahrenheit. You can also go up higher, but I personally like 60 degrees, 140 Fahrenheit a lot. I'm a big fan of this temperature because it brings out a lot of the sweetness. What you have to know is when you want to have a bitter tea, when you need to have a bitter tea, especially when you're sick, you need the catechins. And the catechins are the bitter parts in the tea. And lower temperatures, they extract more the theanine and less the catechins. That's why also at lower temperature the tea is slightly sweeter. If you haven't seen it already, I did a tasting matcha at different temperatures, and this video exactly talks about this. Even with matcha, you get a less strong, less astringent tone in the tea, so it really develops the theanine being the sweet particles in the tea. The Kukicha, I will leave it in for 1 to 1.5 minutes. The Gyokuro, I try to leave it in a little bit longer, so around 2 minutes. That's why I take this one here further or faster out of the water. Meanwhile, this, I leave it slightly longer in. So, I think we are already done here. A little bit more than a minute, 1.5 minutes. And we pull. So really important, bring out all the water. The tea shouldn't brew further. That's why you need all the water in your cup or in your glass and no water in the kyushu. So, very important. Good, that's it. This is the first one. Now go to the second one. And you already see in terms of colors, the Gyokuro much stronger in the lightness green, while this one's much stronger in the more yellowish color, golden color. You see in the liquid, lot of difference in the liquid itself. So, well, I think there was still some in, yes. So, really bring out all the water, very important. So, we got these two teas, just to show you the difference already. Here we got more like this yellowish golden color, and here we really got this beautiful greenish, more transparent. You can even see my finger behind here. While well, okay, with these glasses it's a little bit more difficult, while here you can nearly see anything passing behind. So you can see a slight shimmer of the color of my finger, but here you can actually see the finger. So let's go into it. So let's start with the Kukicha. So what I have directly with this tea is I can really feel the minerals. So there's a little bit of an acidity, but also a lot of savoriness, but not this typical savory sweetness, but a strong savory tea, which has really a development of flavor, but more in kind of the sweet corn area. So sweet corn is something I feel here a lot. A little bit of fresh spinach, summer grass, but rather later summer grass. I don't know if you have ever liked to run as a kid just after a field has been, the grass has been cut, this summer grass, this thicker summer grass, and then you run through it. This is a little bit this, so it's not this light fresh summer grass, or a little bit this later summer stronger thicker grass, and this is what reminds me this tea of when I drink it. Good. And there's a lot of umami. Umami meaning like this sweetness, savoriness, no bitterness, 60 degrees, 140 Fahrenheit. Really did it. Good work here. Very much of sweet tones, a lot of sweet tones of this tea now in the tea. Completely different. So this one here starts with a sweet note. There's also a little bit this grassiness, but the grassiness is earlier in summer, and then it develops this savory sweetness. It glides, also the water glides over the tongue, and it has this kind of nearly a dewish, like a little bit thicker texture on the tongue, and then developing more in this a little bit marine notes, a little bit a slight hint, slight grain of salt, you might even say. So there's much more smoothness, much more body, much more roundness, while this one here triggers with a strong sweetness. It pushes also a strong taste of kind of late summer grass, hayish flavor, making it a little bit dry. And this one here is really, in comparison, tender, smooth, rolling over the tongue, a sweetness, grassiness, and then a little bit this sweet, savory note, and then with this small little grain of salt. Very interesting. Yeah, this is so the main difference I can feel with this tea here. So smooth, sweet. This is more hayish, more stronger on the corn flavor, so sweet corn flavor, much less of this savory, nearly salty marine note. This one here much more on the sweet note, but also a little bit more of a tingling on the tongue due to the high amount of minerals. So big difference, similar, so same plant, same cultivar, meaning same breed of green tea plant, but a very distinctive flavor between these two. And the Gyokuro, strong in caffeine, bringing you out in the morning, bringing you really this energy kick also. While this one here can be a very tasty and strong tea for the evening. Also when you're in the morning, you need more of this smooth, a little bit full-bodied, round flavor, or that's at least with me. Meanwhile, in the evening, you need something strong. Your palate has already had some flavors, so then you need something with character, strong, with which has a quite of a more intense flavor, and this one here definitely has more of this intensity in the flavor itself. So this is a difference of these two. What I did not say yet, so in terms of caffeine, you might say, so it has been measured from time to time. Gyokuro around the same caffeine as an espresso, so we talk here about 140 milligrams, while this one here we talk about 20 to 25 milligrams of caffeine, so very low and very easy to drink in the evening. So this one has around 5 to even 6 times less caffeine than the other one. So a very smooth and very light green tea in terms of caffeine. That's why I personally like to drink it a lot in the evening. And this one here is a tea which I like a lot to drink in the morning. Good. I hope you like this. And if you ever have questions, don't hesitate to ask me them. I will be happy to answer it. Bye.